Welcome back, my friends. Today is June 16th, 2023, and in just a couple of days is Father's Day, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. I hope that your father is still around, and if he is, make sure you take the time to wrap your arms around him, give him a big hug, tell him that you love him, and thank him for all that he's done for you. I can assure you that he will never forget it. You see, we men don't hear that often, not as often as mothers do. And the opportunity is not always going to present itself. It's a limited time offer that you have, and you need to make good on it. I was listening to a video this morning of a man on a stage, sitting in a chair, addressing an audience. I've never seen this person before. I'm going to kind of assume that he's a comedian because he was able to generate a laugh easily when he wanted to. And while he was being humorous, he was also having a heart-to-heart discussion. And he was talking about Father's Day and how it is one of the least celebrated holidays in our country out of all the ones that are recognized. It ranks number 20 on the list out of all the ones that are out there. Number one was Christmas. Number two was Mother's Day. He said, so apparently Jesus is first, Mama is second, and who knows what else comes between that and Father's Day. He said he couldn't even think what the other things were except maybe Arbor Day, and he didn't even know what that was for. And it's very revealing, isn't it? I hope that you take it seriously, and that's why you need to get in touch with him and tell him just how much he means to you. I want to tell you about somebody or about something that I found out. I really wasn't looking for this, and it's so good that I think it'll touch your heart as well as it did mine. And give you a call to action. I was going through this month's edition of Reader's Digest, the June edition here. It looks like this, so you can go out and find it on the rack and purchase it for yourself if you want to. And when I first get mine, I just kind of flip through the pages really fast. I find the humorous sections. I look for anecdotes that I can use for my videos, and that's what I do. I do that with everything. But anyway, I was flipping through the pages really fast, and I fell upon this picture on page 7. Okay, look at this. I fell upon this picture on page 7, and I thought to myself, just in passing, I said, "This guy looks familiar. The guy in the orange shirt looks really familiar to me." But in the moment, I didn't think a lot of it. I just thought, "Oh, yeah, okay," and I kept going. But then it just kept nagging at me, and I turned back and I said, "This has got to be the same guy. This looks way too familiar." Well, I started reading this, and this article is called "What a Fish Tale," and I didn't get very far into it, and they mentioned Lakeland, Florida, which is where I live. And I said, I do know this guy, and I don't know him personally, like we're not friends. I never really knew his name, but I've been living in Lakeland since 1986, and over the past several decades, I have seen this guy in passing several different places. And why I remember him so much is because he always had the friendliest demeanor. He always made eye contact. He always looked at me and smiled like he knew me. And it gave me that feeling that maybe we did know each other. But he just seemed like the most approachable person, had a very Santa Claus-like aura to him. And I always thought maybe I should go up and talk to him. And I never did. And I wish now that I had. So here's this story about him. His name is William Dunn, and he doesn't know. He has no idea I'm making this video. I'll probably let him know. But anyway, let me fill you in on this. Here's what this article says. Like I said, it's called "What a Fish Tale." This is under their Everyday Heroes category. Okay. It says these kids' fathers aren't around, so this dad takes them fishing every weekend. This is written by Kathy Free from the Washington Post. That's some recognition right there. Let me put my reading glasses on. Forgot to pull them out before I started this. All right, here's how this goes. Listen carefully. It was not hard to notice the 8-year-old boy across the street who stormed in and out of his own house. He did it often enough that a neighbor, William Dunn, wondered what was going on in his life. So Dunn asked him. He told me that he didn't have a father, says Dunn, now 58, and I realized that there might be something I could do for him. That something was fishing, a passion Dunn's father had shared with him. Fishing always brought me peace, and it taught me how to be patient. When you're on the water, you can forget about your problems and just appreciate the moment. Dunn, who has 3 children of his own, got permission from the boy's mother to take him fishing. One Saturday afternoon on the water led to another, and soon he was teaching other kids in their Lakeland, Florida neighborhood how to rig a line, hold a pole, and reel in a big catch. That was 16 years ago. Since then, Dunn has taken groups of kids out almost every weekend to fish. Most didn't have father figures in their lives and had never fished before. Some were foster kids who had shuffled from one home to the next. They'd been through a lot, and they'd seen a lot, and their lives were difficult, Dunn says. But when they were fishing, all of that faded away. Out on the boat, they'd be laughing and smiling and making new friends. I knew I was onto something. In the beginning, Dunn, Big Will to the kids, and he is a big guy, spent a good chunk of his paycheck from his job selling tires to rent charter boats for the kids. That's impressive. I admire that. Then in 2018, he started the nonprofit Take a Kid Fishing Incorporated. He and a small group of volunteers have introduced more than 2,500 kids, most without fathers around, to the calming peace found on the water and the exhilaration of nabbing a fish. One of those kids was Jaden Pryor, who struggled emotionally when his father died in a car accident in January 2020. He was really close to his dad, said Jaden's mother, Tara Pryor. And with 2 younger siblings, he felt he needed to take over the man of the house role, which is very common, by the way. He was trying to be strong for everyone and didn't show his emotion. I was wondering what to do to help him, and then I learned about Take a Kid Fishing. Jaden, now 13, has become a devoted fisherman and credits Dunn with helping him mature, while also being sure to mention that he once caught a shark with Dunn's help. I hope he knows I mean it when I say thank you. Just as important as the fishing are the relationship Dunn forms with the kids. When Jaden was going through a rough patch, I let Will know that his grades were suffering and he had a little talk with him, Tara says. Jaden came home and told her that Big Will had given him a sense of purpose. And she adds, Jaden's grades have improved. Another regular angler, Bella Smith, says that Dunn emphasizes self-respect and mental toughness. I'm able to forget about the past when I'm fishing and concentrate on something fun and positive, says Smith, 21, who's in a foster program for young adults while she takes automotive classes at a technical college. Fishing is learning for life. I've learned that I deserve a better life than what I had. Whenever I feel down about something, I know it's time to go fishing. Dunn's own father passed away this past December. As a result, the fishing trips have taken on new meaning for him. I have even more passion for it because now I'm fatherless too. That's why he's always eager to watch the kids on the boat. There's nothing like feeling that first tug on the line and seeing a kid light up with a smile, Dunn says. I feel lucky to witness that every weekend. I hope you find that as remarkable as I do. Here's a man who he had his eyes open. He saw someone that appeared trouble, and he had compassion. He expressed empathy, and he inquired. He took the time to try to figure out what was wrong. And he made it his business. And there's not enough people doing that. There's a lot of fathers who aren't around for whatever reason. And it's not a black and white issue, by the way. There's going to be a lot of detractors, a lot of people who have negative things to say, but it's not a black and white issue. And it's really come to bear fruit in our culture, hasn't it? But we can be a father to the fatherless. And William Dunn has done that. He has acted on his compassion. And I think that's quite admirable. Now, if I go to his website, or if you go to his website, Take a Kid Fishing, You'll find his picture. You'll find different videos where he's been introduced on news programs and stuff like this, and they're all very interesting to watch. Great guy, just a really great guy. But let me tell you what it says on the website about his Take a Kid Fishing Incorporated. It says, Take a Kid Fishing is dedicated to enhancing the lives of underprivileged and fatherless kids through mentoring and fishing excursions that are geared and dedicated to their future. On these excursions, we educate the kids by teaching them life skills and responsibilities through fishing. Once they grasp the concept of fishing, it enables them to learn patience, teamwork, and how to relax, think, and not make a rash decision. Fishing also helps show them to support each other, whether they win or lose. Invaluable life skills. This is stuff they should be teaching in schools. This is stuff that should be taught at home, and too often it's not. I have a lot of respect for this man, and I'm very proud to say that he's in my own hometown here. I'm just tickled to death about that. Now let me tell you what they outline here. They actually have a punch list of things that they focus on when they have these kids, and here it is. Number 1, fishing teaches kids to learn from every mistake. Number 2, sometimes the things we think we want, we just need to throw back. That's a huge one. That's a huge one. Number 3, being disciplined and having a can-do spirit will take you a long way. Number 4, the lesson is that oftentimes you may have to do seemingly dull and tedious tasks, but they can pay off in the long run. Just stick with it. Number 5, don't lose sight of your surroundings. You can't take advantage of an opportunity if you don't see it coming. That's really something. And I want to tell you guys something. I'm sure that this has meant something to you on some level. And you hear this and go, wow, what can I do? Because not all of us can do what William Dunn is doing. But we can participate, we can help, we can contribute. If you go to his website, which I will put a link for down below, you can click onto that. You can read all about it. You can see the pictures. There's even one with Mike Allstott, who used to play for the Buccaneers, here with the kids. This is just a fantastic thing. And I'm just so glad that I get to bring it to you guys. But go to his website. There's a yellow button at the very top. You can click onto it. It says Donate Now. I'm sure he would greatly, greatly appreciate your contribution. All right? All right. Well, that's the Father's Day message for this year. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Like I said, make sure your father knows how you feel about him, and pour it on thick, because, like I said, we don't hear it that often. And I remember shortly before my father passed away, of course I didn't know. We didn't know that this was going to happen, but before he went down, one Sunday at church, I walked up to him and gave him a big hug, and that's something I hadn't done in years. I gave him a big hug. I can't remember what it was for. I think it was for Father's Day. Yeah, that's what it was. I gave him a big hug and I told him I loved him. I hadn't done that in years. And that meant so much to him. He never forgot it up until the day he passed away. Maybe he's still thinking about it now. But I'm glad I did that, because like I said, the opportunity won't always be around. So hearken my words and act on them. And go visit Take a Kid Fishing, will you? All right. I've enjoyed it, guys. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you in the next one.